Hello and welcome. I'm so glad you're here tonight. Find yourself a comfortable position, somewhere you can truly rest. Let your body sink into whatever supports you, your bed, your pillow, the quiet darkness around you. Tonight, we're going to explore something vast and beautiful together. We're going to talk about infinity, about the endless universe that stretches beyond every horizon, every measurement, every number we could ever count. But don't worry, you don't need to understand it all. You don't need to stay awake for every word. All you need to do is breathe and listen and let yourself drift wherever feels right. If you're enjoying this journey through the cosmos and you'd like to see more stories like this one, a gentle like or subscribe would mean the world. But only if it feels easy, only if it feels right. There's no pressure here, just rest. Now, close your eyes if you haven't already. Take a slow breath in through your nose. Hold it for just a moment and let it go slowly through your mouth. Feel your shoulders drop. Feel the weight of the day begin to lift away from you. You've done enough today. You've thought enough, worked enough, worried enough. All of that can wait until morning. Right now, in this moment, all you need to do is rest. Let the day fall quietly behind you, like a door closing softly in another room. You are here now. You are safe. And together, we're going to float through the infinite universe, learning its secrets, one quiet fact at a time. The universe, as far as we can tell, has no edge, no wall, no place where it simply stops. When astronomers look out into the deepest reaches of space, they see galaxies stretching on, billions of them, each containing billions of stars. And beyond those galaxies, there are more galaxies, and beyond those, more still. Imagine standing on a beach, looking out at an ocean that has no opposite shore. No matter how far you travel, there is always more water, more waves, more horizon. That is what the universe is like, an ocean without an edge. And you, lying here in the darkness, are part of that ocean. You are made of the same elements that float between the stars. You are stardust, ancient and precious, resting now in the quiet of the night. Breathe slowly. Let your body relax even more deeply. There is nowhere you need to be, nothing you need to do. Just listen and drift. Infinity is not just about space. It's also about time. The universe is approximately 13.8 billion years old. That number is so large, it almost loses meaning. 13 billion, 800 million years. Try to picture it: every sunrise and sunset that ever happened on Earth, every generation of stars that lived and died before our sun was even born. All of that time, stretching back and back and back, like ripples moving outward from a stone dropped into still water. And yet, even that vast span of time may be just a moment in the life of the universe. Scientists believe the universe may continue expanding forever, growing older and colder, but never ending. Time, like space, may have no final page. You don't need to stay awake for all of this. If your mind begins to wander, let it wander. If sleep begins to pull at you, let it pull. The story will keep flowing like a gentle river, and you are safe to drift along with it. When we look at the night sky, we are looking back in time. The light from distant stars takes years, sometimes millions or billions of years to reach us. When you see a star twinkling above you, you are seeing it not as it is now, but as it was long ago. Some of those stars may no longer exist. They may have collapsed, exploded, transformed into something new, but their light still travels, still reaches us, still touches your eyes on a quiet night. The universe is full of these ghost echoes of the past, still glowing softly in the present. Think of it this way: every photon of starlight that falls on your skin is a tiny messenger from the distant past, a piece of history that has journeyed across the void just to find you. And now, here you are, receiving it. You are connected to the cosmos in ways you might never have imagined. Breathe deeply. Feel the air move gently through your body. You are held by the earth. The earth is held by the sun. The sun is held by the galaxy, and the galaxy floats in the infinite universe, spinning slowly, patiently through the dark. There are more stars in the universe than grains of sand on all the beaches of Earth. That's not poetry, that's science. Astronomers estimate there are roughly 200 billion trillion stars. 200 billion trillion. It's a number so vast that if you tried to count them one per second, you would need trillions of lifetimes. And each of those stars is a sun burning bright, surrounded perhaps by planets of its own. Some of those planets may have oceans. Some may have storms. Some may have life, looking up at their own night sky, wondering if they are alone. You are not alone. Even in the quiet of your room, even in the darkness, you are part of a universe teeming with light and possibility. Let that thought comfort you. Let it wrap around you like a soft blanket. The universe is expanding, not into something, but within itself. Space itself is stretching, carrying galaxies farther and farther apart. Imagine dots on the surface of a balloon. As the balloon inflates, the dots move away from each other, not because they're traveling through the rubber, but because the rubber itself is expanding. That's what's happening to the universe. Every moment, the space between galaxies grows a little larger. And yet, you and I, here on Earth, held together by gravity, remain close. We are safe in our small corner of the infinite. Breathe in, breathe out. Let your thoughts drift like stars across a quiet sky. The farthest object ever observed by human eyes is a galaxy called GNZ Onzi. It is so far away that its light has been traveling toward us for over 13 billion years. When that light began its journey, the universe was only a few 100 million years old, a cosmic infant. And now, billions of years later, that light has finally arrived, captured by our telescopes, a faint whisper from the very edge of time. Imagine the patience of that light. Imagine the stillness of that journey, moving through the emptiness, never stopping, never doubting, just traveling quietly toward us. You, too, can be patient with yourself. You, too, can move gently through your own night, trusting that rest will come in its own time. There is a concept in mathematics called the infinite hotel. Imagine a hotel with an infinite number of rooms, all occupied. Now imagine a new guest arrives. Is there room? Yes, because the guest in room 1 can move to room 2, the guest in room 2 can move to room 3, and so on, forever. Room 1 becomes available. Now imagine an infinite number of new guests arrive. Is there still room? Incredibly, yes. The guest in room 1 moves to room 2. The guest in room 2 moves to room 4. The guest in room 3 moves to room 6. Every guest moves to double their room number, and suddenly all the odd-numbered rooms are empty. Infinite space for infinite guests. This is the paradox of infinity. It doesn't behave the way normal numbers do. It is strange, beautiful, and endlessly surprising. And it reminds us that the universe, in its vastness, may hold possibilities we can't even imagine yet. Let your breathing slow. Let your heartbeat soften. You are drifting now, floating gently on a sea of stars. Black holes are places where infinity reveals itself. At the center of a black hole is something called the singularity, a point where all the mass of the collapsed star is compressed into a space with no volume. Zero size, infinite density. It's a place where the rules of physics, as we know them, break down, where space and time become tangled and strange. Scientists can't fully explain what happens there. It is a mystery wrapped in darkness, a doorway to the unknown. And yet, even black holes are part of the universe. Even these strange, infinite points belong to the vast, orderly cosmos. You don't need to understand everything. Some mysteries are meant to remain mysterious. Some questions don't need answers tonight. Just rest. The speed of light is the fastest anything can travel, about 186,000 miles per second. But even at that incredible speed, light from the sun takes 8 minutes to reach Earth. Light from the nearest star beyond the sun, Proxima Centauri, takes over 4 years. Light from the Andromeda Galaxy, our nearest large galactic neighbor, takes 2.5 million years. Imagine that a beam of light, moving as fast as anything in the universe can move, still taking millions of years to cross the space between galaxies. The universe is so vast that even light, the swiftest traveler, seems slow by comparison. And yet, here you are, small and still, resting under that same infinite sky. You are exactly where you need to be. If sleep comes now, let it come. You are safe here. The story will keep flowing like a river beneath the stars, and you can return to it whenever you wish. There is a theory called the multiverse. It suggests that our universe, vast as it is, may be just one of an infinite number of universes. Each universe may have different laws of physics, different particles, different possibilities. In some, stars may never form. In others, life may flourish everywhere. In still others, time itself may flow differently. It's a dizzying thought, isn't it? An infinity of infinities. Universes branching out like the limbs of an endless tree, each one a world unto itself. But for now, this universe is enough. This moment is enough. You resting here, breathing softly are enough. The Milky Way, our home galaxy, contains between 100 and 400 billion stars. It is shaped like a spiral, with long arms of stars and gas curving outward from a bright central bulge. Our sun is located about halfway out on one of these arms in a relatively quiet region called the Orion Spur. We orbit the center of the galaxy at a speed of about 515,000 miles per hour. And yet, because the galaxy is so vast, it takes us about 230 million years to complete one full orbit. The last time we were in this exact spot in the galaxy, dinosaurs were just beginning to walk the Earth. Think of that. The stars above you are moving, the galaxy is spinning, and yet from where you lie, everything seems so still, so peaceful, so perfectly, beautifully still. Breathe, just breathe. The cosmic microwave background is the oldest light in the universe. It is the faint afterglow of the Big Bang, stretched and cooled over billions of years. When astronomers tune their instruments to just the right frequency, they can detect this ancient light coming from every direction in the sky. It is a whisper from the very beginning, a soft hum that fills the entire universe. It is the lullaby of creation, still singing after all this time. And you, listening now, are cradled by that same universe. You are part of its story, part of its song. Numbers can be infinite, too. Between the number 1 and the number 2, there are infinite fractions. 11,100,1.0, onde you keep dividing forever and never reach to, mathematicians call this a continuum. It means that infinity isn't just out there in the vastness of space. It's here in the smallest measurements, in the tiniest gaps between moments. Infinity is everywhere, threaded through reality like light through water. Let that thought surround you. Let it hold you gently, the way the universe holds every star. Your mind may be wandering now. That's perfectly okay. You don't need to follow every word. Let your thoughts drift like clouds across the summer sky. There is a particle called a neutrino. It is so small, so light, that it barely interacts with anything. Right now, trillions of neutrinos are passing through your body every second, streaming outward from the sun, traveling at nearly the speed of light. They pass through the earth, through the walls of your room, through you, without stopping, without slowing. They are invisible, intangible, almost like ghosts. And yet they are real, and they are everywhere, filling the universe with their silent passage. You are not separate from the cosmos. You are woven into it, down to the smallest particle. You belong here. The concept of infinity has puzzled philosophers and mathematicians for thousands of years. The ancient Greeks debated it. Some believed infinity was impossible, that the universe must have a boundary, a final edge. Others believed that infinity was the only truth, that existence itself had no beginning and no end. The philosopher Aristotle distinguished between potential infinity, something that could keep growing forever, and actual infinity, something that is already fully infinitely large. He believed potential infinity was real, but actual infinity was beyond human comprehension. And maybe he was right. Maybe infinity is something we can only approach, never fully grasp, and maybe that's okay. Maybe some mysteries are meant to be felt, not solved. Let your body relax even more deeply now. Feel the softness beneath you. Feel the gentle rhythm of your breathing. You are held. You are safe. The Hubble Space Telescope has captured images of galaxies so distant that they appear as faint smudges of light, barely distinguishable from the darkness around them. Each smudge is an entire galaxy, containing billions of stars, billions of planets, perhaps billions of worlds where storms rage, oceans churn, and sunsets paint the sky in colors we've never seen. And those galaxies are just a small sample of what's out there. For every galaxy we can see, there are countless more beyond our reach, hidden in the depths of space, living their own quiet lives. The universe is full of wonders you will never see. And somehow, that makes it even more beautiful. Breathe slowly. Let your eyelids grow heavy if they haven't already. Let sleep come to you like a gentle tide, easing softly, lifting you into dreams. There is a strange and beautiful fact about infinity. You can remove an infinite amount from it, and it remains infinite. If you have an infinite set of numbers and you take away half of them, you still have an infinite set. Infinity minus infinity is still infinity. It is inexhaustible, undiminished, endlessly abundant. The universe in its vastness is like that. No matter how much we explore, no matter how much we learn, there will always be more to discover. Always more stars, more galaxies, more mysteries waiting patiently in the dark. And you, resting here, are part of that endless story. You are a thread in the fabric of the cosmos, unique and irreplaceable. The Andromeda Galaxy is moving toward us. In about 4.5 billion years, it will collide with the Milky Way. But don't worry, collisions between galaxies are not violent, catastrophic events. The stars are so far apart that they will mostly pass through each other like dancers moving through a crowded room, graceful and unhurt. The two galaxies will merge slowly over millions of years, creating a new, larger galaxy. Astronomers have already given it a name, a union of two infinite realms, blending together to form something new. Change is part of the universe. Even on the grandest scales, nothing stays the same forever. And that's okay. Change can be slow. Change can be gentle. Change can be beautiful. Let your thoughts slow down now. Let them become soft and formless, like mist rising from a quiet lake. In the farthest reaches of space, there are voids, vast regions where almost no galaxies exist. These cosmic voids can be hundreds of millions of light years across empty stretches of space where the darkness is deeper, quieter, more profound. They are the silent pauses between the notes of the cosmic symphony, the rests that give meaning to the music. Without the voids, the clusters of galaxies would have no contrast, no definition. The emptiness is part of the beauty. You, too, need rest. You, too, need moments of silence and stillness. It is not emptiness. It is peace. There is a thought experiment called Hilbert's Hotel, named after the mathematician David Hilbert. It explores the paradoxes of infinity through the metaphor of a hotel with infinite rooms. If the hotel is full, but you need to accommodate infinitely many new guests, you can do so by moving each current guest to a room number that is their current number multiplied by 2. This frees up all the odd-numbered rooms for the new guests. Infinity can always make room for more. It is endlessly flexible, endlessly generous. The universe, too, has room for you. For all your thoughts, all your worries, all your dreams, there is space enough for everything. You don't need to stay awake. If sleep is calling to you, answer it. Let yourself go gently into the dark. The universe is not only expanding, it's accelerating. Something called dark energy is pushing galaxies apart faster and faster. Scientists don't fully understand what dark energy is. It makes up about 68% of the universe, and yet it remains invisible, mysterious, a force we can measure but not see. It is the ghost in the machine, the invisible hand shaping the cosmos. And it reminds us that even in our most advanced understanding, the universe still holds secret. Some things cannot be known, not yet. And that's part of the wonder. There are more atoms in a single grain of sand than there are grains of sand on all the beaches of Earth. And yet, the universe contains so many grains of sand, so many atoms, so many particles, that even this staggering comparison feels small. The universe is built from the infinitely small and stretches to the infinitely large, a tapestry woven from threads too tiny to see, forming patterns too vast to comprehend. You are made of those atoms. You are part of that tapestry. You are both infinitely small and infinitely significant. Let your breathing become so slow, so steady, that you barely notice it. Let your body melt into the softness around you. Time near a black hole behaves strangely. The intense gravity warps space and time so severely that clocks run slower the closer you get to the event horizon. If you could hover just above the edge of a black hole and look back at the universe, you would see time speeding up, stars being born and dying in moments, galaxies spinning like Meanwhile, to someone watching you from far away, you would appear frozen, moving slower and slower until you seemed to stop entirely. Time, like space, is not fixed. It bends, stretches, and flows like water. This moment, right now, is infinite in its own way. This breath, this heartbeat, this quiet second of rest, it is everything. The ancient Greeks had a word, apeiron, meaning without limit or infinite. The philosopher Anaximander believed that the apeiron was the source of all things about eternal substance from which the universe emerged and to which it would one day return. He saw infinity not as empty space, but as a fullness, a presence, the very ground of existence. You are resting now in that fullness. You are held by the infinite, cradled by the cosmos, safe in the boundless now. If your mind drifts, let it drift. You are safe. You are held. Sleep is near now. Soften, sure. The largest known structure in the universe is the Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall. It is a vast filament of galaxies stretching across more than 10 billion light-years of space. To put that in perspective, it would take light traveling at 186,000 miles per second 10 billion years to cross it. And yet, from our perspective here on Earth, it is just a pattern in the sky, a faint thread in the cosmic web. Even the largest things in the universe are part of a greater whole. Even the mightiest structures are just threads in the infinite tapestry. Mathematicians have discovered different sizes of infinity. Some infinities are larger than others. The set of all counting numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, ... closing parentheses, is infinite. But the set of all real numbers, including fractions, decimals, and irrational numbers like pi's, a larger infinity, it's called uncountably infinite. This was proven by a mathematician named Georg Cantor in the late 1800s, and it shocked the mathematical world. Infinity, it turns out, has layers, depth, dimensions we are only beginning to explore. The universe, too, may have layers we cannot yet see. Dimensions folded into dimensions, realities nested within realities. Let your body sink deeper into rest. Let your mind become quiet, like a forest at dusk. There is a concept in physics called the Planck length. It is the smallest unit of space that has any meaning about 1.6 x 10 to 35 meters. That's a decimal point followed by 34 zeros, and then a 6. It's so small that nothing in the universe can be measured more precisely than that. Below the Planck length, space itself becomes uncertain, fuzzy, a quantum foam where the usual rules break down. It is the edge of the knowable, the boundary between the real and the unimaginable. Even the smallest things touch infinity. Even the tiniest measurements lead to the unknown. The cosmic web is the largest structure of the universe, a vast network of galaxies connected by filaments of dark matter and gas stretching across billions of light. If you could zoom out far enough, you would see that galaxies are not scattered randomly through space. They form a pattern like neurons in a brain or threads in a spider's web. The universe has structure, order, a hidden architecture underlying the chaos. You, too, are part of a greater pattern. You are connected to everything, whether you can see the threads or not. Breathe, just breathe. Let sleep come if it wants to. In the year 1884, a mathematician named Georg Cantor wrote a letter to a fellow mathematician, explaining his discovery of different infinities. He was met with skepticism, even hostility. Some of his colleagues thought he had gone mad. The very idea that some infinities could be larger than others seemed absurd, impossible. But Cantor was right. He had glimpsed something true and strange about the nature of reality. And over Chimie, his ideas were accepted, celebrated, woven into the foundation of modern mathematics. Sometimes the truth is stranger than we expect. Sometimes the universe surprises us in ways we cannot predict. And that is part of its beauty. The edge of the observable universe is about 46.5 billion light-years away in every direction. That's the farthest we can see the boundary of the visible cosmos. But that doesn't mean the universe ends there. It only means that light from beyond that boundary hasn't had time to reach us yet. The universe may extend far beyond what we can observe. It may be infinite in size, stretching on, forever and ever, with no edge, no wall, no final frontier. And somewhere in that vastness, you are here. Small, yes. Finite, yes. But no less precious for it. Let your thoughts become soft and slow, like snowflakes drifting through still air. The sun will not burn forever. In about 5 billion years, it will run out of hydrogen fuel and begin to die. It will swell into a red giant, consuming the inner planets, before finally collapsing into a white dwarf, a small, dense ember cooling slowly in the darkness. But even then, it will not truly disappear. It will linger for trillions of years, fading slowly, a ghost of its former self. And eventually, perhaps, its atoms will be scattered into space, recycled into new stars, new planets, new life. The universe wastes nothing. Everything returns, transforms, continues. You, too, are part of that cycle. You, too, will continue in ways you cannot yet imagine. There are numbers so large they have no practical meaning. A googlism followed by 100 zeros. A googolplex is 1 followed by a google of zeros, a number so vast that if you try to write it out, there wouldn't be enough space in the observable universe to hold all the digits. And yet, even a googolplex is nothing compared to infinity. Infinity is not a number. It is an idea, a direction, a horizon that retreats no matter how far you travel. The universe is full of horizons, full of mysteries that recede as we approach them. And that is part of its endless wonder. Your breathing is so slow now, so steady. You are drifting, floating, held gently by the dark. In some theories, the universe is cyclical. It expands, cools, and eventually contracts back into a hot, dense state before exploding outward again in a new Big Bang. This cycle could repeat infinitely, each universe giving birth to the next, like waves rising and falling on an endless ocean. Birth, death, rebirth. Expansion, contraction, expansion again, an infinite rhythm, a cosmic heartbeat that never stops. You, too, are a part of that rhythm. Your breath, your heartbeat, your rise and fall between waking and sleeping it is all part of the same pattern. The coldest place in the universe is not in the depths of space. It's here, on Earth, in laboratories where scientists have cooled atoms to within a billionth of a degree above absolute zero. At that temperature, atoms stop moving almost entirely. Time itself seems too slow. It is a stillness so profound it feels almost infinite, a pocket of perfect quiet in the midst of the cosmos. You, too, can find that stillness. You, too, can rest in the quiet. Let yourself go now. Let sleep take you gently, like a leaf carried by a slow, warm current. The light from the sun takes about 8 minutes to reach us. But that light began its journey long before those 8 minutes. It started deep in the core of the sun, where nuclear fusion creates photons, particles of light. But the core is so dense, so packed with matter, that those photons bounce around, colliding with atoms trapped in a chaotic dance. It takes them tens of thousands of years to travel from the core to the surface of the sun. Only then do they fly free into space, racing toward Earth at the speed of light. The sunlight warming your skin on a summer day is ancient, a traveler from deep time. Everything in the universe is connected across time and space. Every light that touches you is a gift from the past. There is a place called the zone of avoidance, or region of the sky obscured by the dense plane of our own Milky Way galaxy. Because there's so much gas and dust in the way, we cannot see what lies beyond it. Entire galaxies, perhaps whole clusters of galaxies, are hidden from us in that cosmic blind spot. It reminds us that even with our most powerful telescopes, there is much we cannot see. The universe keeps its secrets. And that's okay. Some things are meant to remain mysterious. Some wonders are meant to be felt, not known. Your body is so relaxed now, so soft, so still. You're drifting on the edge of sleep, and that is exactly where you should be. There is a theory that the universe could be shaped like a donut, what mathematicians call a torus. If this is true, then traveling far enough in one direction would eventually bring you back to where you started, like a spaceship circling the cosmos. The universe would still be infinite in time, still expanding and evolving, but it would be finite in space, looping back on itself in a way that is difficult to imagine, but mathematically beautiful. Imagine that a universe with no edge, but also no endlessness. A shape that is both finite and infinite, depending on how you look at it. In quantum mechanics, particles can exist in multiple states at once, a phenomenon called superposition. An electron can be in two places at the same time, at least until it is observed. Actually, that moment, the superposition collapses, and the particle chooses a single state. It's as if reality itself is uncertain, waiting for someone to look before deciding what to be. The universe, at its smallest scales, is a place of infinite possibilities, all existing simultaneously until the moment of observation. You are the observer of your own life. You collapse the possibilities into reality simply by being here, by breathing, by existing. Let your mind rest now. Let your thoughts dissolve like mist in the morning sun. There are stars called red dwarfs that burn so slowly. They could live for trillions of years, far longer than the current age of the universe. Some red dwarfs that formed in the early universe are still in their infancy, still burning bright, and will continue to shine long after our sun has died, long after the Milky Way is merged with Andromeda, long after the last generation of massive stars has exploded into supernova. They are the torches of eternity, the lights that will guide the universe into its distant, quiet future. Even in the far future, there will be light. Even in the cold and dark, there will be stars. The word cosmos comes from the ancient Greek word cosmos, which means order or harmony. The Greeks believed that the universe was not chaotic, but adored a beautiful, intricate system governed by laws that could be understood, and they were right. The universe does have order. It has patterns, rhythms, rules, and yet within that order, there is endless variety, endless creativity, endless surprise. You are part of that order. You are part of that harmony. You belong here. Breathe softly, slowly. Let sleep come now, if it hasn't already. There is a concept in cosmology called the heat death of the universe. It is the idea that eventually the universe will expand so much that all the stars will burn out. All the black holes will evaporate, and all the matter will be spread so thin that nothing interesting can happen anymore. The universe will reach a state of maximum entropy perfect equilibrium, perfect stillness. It will all be cold, dark, and quiet, a place where time itself becomes meaningless because nothing changes anymore. But that is trillions upon trillions of years in the future. Right now, the universe is young, vibrant, alive. Right now, stars are being born, galaxies are spinning, life is flourishing. Right now, there is light, warmth, and beauty, and that is what matters. You are here now in this moment, and this moment is enough. The poet Rainer Maria Rilke once wrote, "I live my life in widening circles that reach out across the world." Perhaps that is what infinity is, not a destination, but a direction. Not a place, but a process. A widening, a reaching, a growing outward into the unknown. The universe is always expanding, always becoming more than it was. And so perhaps you are expanding to growing, learning, becoming. Even in your sleep, even in your rest, you are part of that infinite unfolding. Let your eyes stay closed. Let your body stay still. You are safe. You are held. There is a galaxy called IC 1101. It is the largest known galaxy in the observable universe, containing about 100 trillion stars, roughly 1,000 times more stars than the Milky Way. It is so large that light takes about 6 million years to cross from one side to the other. And yet, despite its size, it is just one galaxy among billions. Just one island in the infinite sea. Even the largest things are part of something larger. Even the brightest lights are just sparks in the endless dark. In some indigenous cultures, the Milky Way was seen as a river, a celestial stream carrying the souls of the dead to the afterlife. In others, it was a road, a path for spirits to walk. In ancient China, it was called the Silver River, a barrier between two lovers who could only meet once a year. The stars, for our ancestors, were not distant objects. There were stories, myths, connections between heaven and earth. They were a way to understand the infinite, and perhaps that is still true. Perhaps the stars are still stories, still connections. Perhaps the universe is still a place of meaning, not just matter. Breathe deeply. Let the story hold you. Let the universe cradle you in its infinite arms. The planet Neptune takes 165 Earth years to complete one orbit around the Sun. Since its discovery in 1846, it has only just completed its first full orbit in 2011. Imagine that a world where a single year lasts longer than a human lifetime. Time moves differently out there in the cold, distant reaches of the solar system. The seasons are centuries long. The stars wheel slowly overhead, and yet Neptune keeps turning, patient and steady, tracing its slow circle through the dark. You, too, can be patient. You, too, can move at your own pace, trusting that everything unfolds in its own time. There is a paradox called Zeno's paradox. It suggests that motion is impossible because to travel any distance, you must first travel half that distance. And to travel half, you must first travel a quarter. And to travel a quarter, you must first travel an eighth. And so on infinitely. According to Zeno, you can never actually start moving because there are always infinitely many smaller distances to cross first. And yet, we do move. We do cross distances. The paradox is resolved by understanding that infinite divisions do not make infinite time, they make infinite small moments, which add up to something real and finite. Infinity can be divided, measured, understood. It is not chaos. It is pattern. It is order within the endless. Your breathing is so soft now, so gentle. You are almost asleep. And that is exactly right. The first stars in the universe were very different from the stars we see today. They were massive, bright, and short-lived, burning through their fuel in only a few million years before exploding as supernova. These first stars had no planets, no life, no one to witness their light. They existed in a universe that was still young, still empty, still finding its way. But when they died, they scattered heavy elements, carbon, oxygen, iron into space, and from those elements, new stars formed, new planets, and eventually life. We are made from the ashes of those first stars. We are their legacy. You are the child of stars. You are the universe becoming aware of itself. Let the darkness hold you now. Let the quiet wrap around you like a soft blanket. There are sounds in space, though not in the way we usually think of sound. Space is a vacuum, so sound waves cannot travel through it. But if you could translate the electromagnetic vibrations of planets, stars, and galaxies into sound, you would hear a symphony, low hums, high whistles, crackling bursts of energy. NASA has done this with recordings from space missions, capturing the sound of planets like Jupiter and Saturn. They are eerie, beautiful, otherworldly, like the songs of whales echoing through an ocean of stars. The universe is not silent. It hums with a music we are only just learning to hear. You are part of that music. Your heartbeat, your breath, your quiet presence in the darkness, it is all part of the cosmic song. If you are still awake, that's okay. There is no rush. But if sleep is pulling at you, let it pull. You are safe to let go. There is a photograph called the Hubble Deep Field. In 1995, astronomers pointed the Hubble Space Telescope at a tiny, seemingly empty patch of sky region no larger than a grain of sand held at arm's length. They left the telescope focused on that spot for 10 days, gathering every faint photon of light. When they processed the image, they found nearly 3,000 galaxies in that tiny patch of darkness. Galaxies that had been invisible before, each one a universe unto itself, filled with billions of stars. And that was just one tiny corner of the sky. Everywhere we look, the universe is full. Emptiness is an illusion. The universe is teeming with light, with life, with possibility. You are never truly alone. Let your body become weightless now. Imagine you are floating, drifting through the soft darkness of space, held by gravity, held by the infinite. The idea of infinity appears in many spiritual traditions. In Hinduism, the concept of Ananta means endless or infinite, often associated with the serpent Ananta who holds up the world. In Buddhism, the cycle of rebirth is seen as infinite, stretching backward and forward through time without beginning or end. In Christianity, God is sometimes described as infinite, beyond all measurement, beyond all understanding. Across cultures, across centuries, humans have reached toward the infinite, trying to grasp it, to name it, to find their place within it. Perhaps that reaching is what makes us human. Perhaps the longing for the infinite is part of our nature. And perhaps, in this quiet moment, you are touching it. Perhaps rest itself is a kind of infinia timeless now, a space without edge. There is a moon in our solar system called Enceladus orbiting Saturn. Beneath its icy surface lies a vast ocean of liquid water, kept warm by tidal forces from Saturn's gravity. Geysers erupt from cracks in the ice, shooting plumes of water vapor hundreds of miles into space. Scientists believe that ocean could contain life microbial organisms living in the dark, warm depths, never seeing the sun, never knowing the stars above, an entire hidden world alive in the silence. The universe is full of hidden worlds, full of life in places we never expected, full of wonders waiting quietly to be discovered. Breathe slowly, gently. Let your mind become as still as deep water. There are more ways to arrange a deck of 52 cards than there are atoms on Earth. In fact, the number of possible arrangements is so large, about 8,1067, that if you shuffle the deck right now, the specific order of those cards has almost certainly never existed before in the history of the universe, and will never exist again. Every shuffle is unique, unrepeatable, a small infinity of possibility held in your hands. Every moment is like that. Every breath, every heartbeat, unrepeatable, unique, a small infinity all its own. The astronomer Carl Sagan once said, "The cosmos is within us. We are made of... We are a way for the universe to know itself." You are not separate from the infinite. You are part of it. The atoms in your body were forged in the hearts of dying stars. The calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the oxygen in your lungs, all of it was made in stellar furnaces billions of years ago. You are ancient. You are cosmic. You are stardust, arranged in a shape that can think, feel, dream, and rest. And right now, in this moment, you are resting, and that is exactly what you should be doing. Let the weight of your body sink deeper into the softness beneath you. Let your mind drift loose and light like a cloud. There is a region of space called the boat's void. It is a vast, nearly empty sphere about 330 million light years across, containing far fewer galaxies than it should. It is one of the largest voids in the known universe, a bubble of darkness in the cosmic web. When it was first discovered, it was called the Great Nothing. But even in that vast emptiness, there are a few galaxies, scattered like distant campfires in a dark forest. Even in the void, there is something. Even in the silence, there is light. You are never truly empty. Even in your quietest, stylest moments, there is life within you. There is breath. There is presence. There is being. The universe is 13.8 billion years old, but the atoms in your body are even older. They were formed in stars that lived and died before the sun was born. Some of the hydrogen in your body, this most abundant element, dates back to the first few minutes after the Big Bang, when the universe was a hot, dense soup of particles. The hydrogen has existed for nearly 14 billion years, passing through stars, through nebulae, through planets, through oceans, through plants and animals, and now through you. You are a temporary home for atoms that have been journeying through the cosmos since the beginning of time. You are a part of an infinite story, a story that stretches back to the very first moment and forward into a future we cannot yet imagine. Breathe in that story. Breathe out the day. Let yourself rest in the endless now. There is a star called Betelgeuse, a red supergiant in the constellation Orion. It is so large that if you placed it where the sun is, its surface would extend past the orbit of Mars. Betelgeuse is dying. Sometime in the next 100,000 years, maybe tomorrow, maybe millennia from now, it will explode as a supernova, shining briefly brighter than the full moon, visible even in daylight. And when it does, it will scatter its atoms across light years of space, seeding the cosmos with the raw materials for new stars, new planets, new life. Its death will be a gift. Everything in the universe transforms. Nothing is ever truly lost. Even endings are beginnings in disguise. Your thoughts are slowing now. Your breathing is soft and steady. You are drifting, held by the infinite dark. The ancient philosopher Heraclitus said, "No man ever steps in the same river twice." For it's not the same river and he's not the same man. Everything is in flux, always changing, always flowing. And yet, within that change, there is continuity. The river is still a river. You are still you. The universe is still the universe, even as it expands, evolves, transforms. You are both changing and constant, both temporary and eternal, both a single note and part of the endless song. Let that paradox hold you gently. Let it cradle you as you drift towards sleep. In mathematics, there's a concept called a fractal, a pattern that repeats at every scale, from the largest to the smallest. The coastline of a continent, the branching of a tree, the structure of a snowflake, they are all fractals, infinite in their complexity. You can zoom in forever and keep finding new details, new patterns, new layers of beauty. The universe itself may be a fractal, with galaxies clustered into superclusters forming filaments, filaments weaving into the cosmic web patterns, within patterns, infinitely nested. You are part of that pattern. You are a fractal of the cosmos, repeating its beauty at a human scale. There is a star named Methuselah, officially called HD 140,283. It is one of the oldest stars ever discovered, estimated to be about 14.5 billion years old. But here's the problem. The universe itself is only 13.8 billion years old. For a while, this was a cosmic mystery. How could a star be older than the universe? Eventually, scientists refined their measurements and found that the star is actually closer to 13.7 billion years old, just young enough to fit within the age of the universe. But for a moment, it seemed as if the cosmos had revealed an impossible truth, a star older than time itself. Sometimes the universe surprises us. Sometimes it defies our expectations. And that is part of its infinite wonder. Let your eyelids stay closed. Let your body stay perfectly still. You are safe. You are held. Sleep is so close now. The Voyager 1 spacecraft, launched in 1977, is now more than 14 billion miles from Earth's farthest human-made object in existence. It has left the solar system and entered interstellar space, carrying a golden record with sounds and images from Earth, a message to any civilization that might someday find it. Voyager 1 will drift through the void for billions of years, long after humanity is gone. Long after the sun has died, a tiny emissary from a small blue planet traveling endlessly into the infinite dark. We send our messages into the void, hoping someone will hear, and perhaps they will. Or perhaps the message itself is enough. Perhaps the act of reaching out is what matters. You, too, are reaching. Even in your rest, even in your stillness, you are part of the universe, reaching out to know itself. There is a phenomenon called quantum entanglement. When two particles become entangled, they remain connected, no matter how far apart they are. If you measure the state of one particle, the other particle instantly knows and responds, even if it's on the other side of the universe. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. It suggests that at the quantum level, the universe is deeply interconnected in ways we are only beginning to understand. You are connected to everything. Every atom, every star, every distant galaxy. The universe is not a collection of separate things. It is one vast interconnected whole. And you are part of that whole. You belong here. Breathe, let go. Let sleep take you now gently, softly, like falling into warm water. There is a theory that every decision you make creates a new branch of reality. In one universe, you chose one path. In another, you chose differently. Infinite versions of you, living infinite lives. Each one unfolding in its own way. It's called the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics. And while we may never know if it's true, it's a beautiful thought that somewhere, in some version of reality, every possibility is real. But for now, in this universe, in this moment, you are here. And that is enough. The coldest natural place in the universe is the Boomerang Nebula, about 5,000 light years from Earth. It is the remnant of a dying star, and its temperature is just 1 degree above absolute zero, colder than the cosmic microwave background, colder than the vacuum of space. It is a place of profound stillness, a frozen ghost drifting silently through the dark. But even in that cold, there is beauty. Even in the stillness, there is structure, form, meaning stillness is not emptiness. Rest is not nothingness. You, lying here, are full of life, full of presence, full of being. Let your thoughts become soft and formless now. Let them dissolve like stars fading into the dawn. The universe is expanding, but not into anything. There is no outside for it to expand into. It is creating space as it goes, stretching itself, growing from within. It is both the container and the thing contained. It is everything, and there is nothing beyond it. You are like that, too. You are both the observer and the observer, the thinker and the thought, the dreamer and the dream. Let that truth settle over you like a blanket. Let it warm you as you drift towards sleep. There are 100 billion neurons in the human brain, roughly the same number as stars in the Milky Way galaxy. Each neuron can form thousands of connections with other neurons, creating a network of staggering complexity. Your mind is a galaxy unto itself, a universe of thought and feeling, memory and imagination. And right now, that galaxy is quieting. The neurons are slowing their fire. The connections are softening. Your mind is drifting toward rest, and that is exactly what it needs. There's a legend among sailors about the green flash, a rare optical phenomenon that sometimes occurs at sunset, when a green light appears just as the sun dips below the horizon. It lasts only a second or two, a fleeting glimpse of something beautiful and strange. Sailors believed it was good luck, a blessing from the sea. The universe is full of these moments, brief, fleeting, beautiful. Moments that pass quickly, but leave an impression that lasts forever. This moment, right now, is one of those. This quiet, this stillness, this breath, it will pass, but it is real, and it is yours. Breathe, let your body become as soft as mist. Let your mind become as quiet as the space between stars. In Hindu cosmology, the universe is constantly being created and destroyed by the god Brahma. Each cycle lasts billions of years, an inhalation and an exhalation of the divine. We are living in one of Brahma's breaths, and when this breath ends, the universe will collapse, only to be reborn again in the next breath. An infinite cycle of creation and dissolution, life and death, being and non-being. You, too, are breathing in and out, creation and release. Every breath is a small universe being born and fading away. The star Polaris, the North Star, has guided travelers for thousands of years. It sits almost directly above Earth's North Pole, so it appears stationary while the other stars wheel around it through the night. For centuries, sailors used it to navigate the oceans, always knowing that as long as they could see Polaris, they could find their way home. You, to have a North Star, a center, a place of stillness within you that never moves, no matter how much the world spins around you. Rest in that center now. Let it hold you. There are clouds in space called molecular clouds, vast regions of gas and dust where new stars are born. These clouds can be hundreds of light years across, dark and cold, drifting through the galaxy like ghosts. But within them, gravity slowly pulls matter together, compressing it, heating it, until finally a new star ignites, bursting into light. From darkness, light. From stillness, motion. From the void, life. You are like that too. Even in your darkest, quietest moments, there is potential within you. There is light waiting to be born. But for now, rest. Let the darkness hold you. Let the quiet surround you. There is no need to shine right now. Just be. The longest lived particles in the universe are photons, particles of light. Once created, they can travel forever, undiminished, unchanged, moving at the speed of light through the void. Some photons from the Big Bang are still traveling through space, 38 billion years later, carrying the memory of the universe's birth. You, too, carry memories. You, too, carry light. And that light will continue, in one form or another, long after this moment has passed. Let your breathing slow even more. Let your heartbeat soften. You are almost asleep now. Almost there. The Fibonacci sequence is a pattern found throughout nature. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, and so on, where each number is the sum of the two before it. It appears in the spiral of a nautilus shell, the arrangement of seeds in a sunflower, the branching of trees, the shape of galaxies. It is a mathematical pattern woven into the fabric of reality, a fingerprint of the infinite in the finite. You are part of that pattern. You are part of that order. You belong to the universe, and the universe belongs to you. There is a place in the ocean called the midnight zone, where sunlight never reaches. It is dark, cold, and still. And yet, life flourishes there, strange, beautiful creatures that glow with their own light, drifting through the depths like stars in an underwater sky. Even in the deepest darkness, there is light. Even in the quietest silence, there is life. You are safe in the darkness. You are held in the silence. Let sleep come now, soft and sure. The universe began with a singularity, a point of infinite density and infinite temperature. Everything that exists, all the matter and energy in the cosmos, was compressed into a space smaller than an atom. And then, in a moment beyond time, it expanded. The Big Bang was not an explosion into space. It was the creation of space itself. Time, matter, energy, and the laws of physics all came into being in that first instant. You, too, began as a single point, a single cell carrying within it the potential for everything you would become. And from that small beginning, you grew, expanded, became the person lying here now, breathing softly in the dark. Every beginning contains an infinity of possibility. Let that thought comfort you as you drift. There is a place in Antarctica called the Pole of Inaccessibility, the point farthest from any ocean, the most remote place on the continent. It is cold, barren, and silent. A Soviet research station was built there in 1958, but it was abandoned long ago. Now it sits empty, covered in snow, a monument to human ambition in the loneliest place on Earth. Even in the most remote places, humans have been. Even in the emptiest spaces, there are stories. You are never truly alone. You are part of a vast human story, stretching back thousands of generations and forward into the unknowable future. Breathe, rest, let go. The universe is not empty. Even the vacuum of space is full of something called quantum fluctuations, tiny bursts of energy that appear and disappear in the blink of an eye. Particles and antiparticles pop into existence, collide, and annihilate, all in a fraction of a second. The void is not truly void. It is buzzing with potential, with possibility, with life. You, too, are full of potential. Even in your stylist moments, even in your deepest rest, you are alive, humming with the energy of existence. There is something profoundly peaceful about understanding our place in the infinite. When you realize that the universe has been expanding for nearly 14 billion years, that stars have been born and died in cycles beyond counting, that galaxies have danced their slow spiral dance across unimaginable distances, it puts everything into perspective. Your worries, your anxieties, the small troubles that felt so large just hours ago, they are hell. Yes, and they matter to you, but they are also temporary. They are tiny ripples on the surface of an infinite ocean. The universe does not judge you for them. The stars do not keep score. The cosmos simply holds you the way it holds everything, with patient, endless grace. And in that understanding, there can be release. There can be rest. You can let go of the need to be perfect, to have all the answers, to carry everything alone. You are part of something so much larger than yourself, and that larger thing does not need you to struggle. It only asks you to be, to breathe, to exist. And right now, as you lie here in the soft darkness, you are doing exactly that. You are being, you are breathing, you are existing. And that is enough. That is everything. The infinite universe does not need you to be more than you are in this moment. It only needs you to rest, to let the day fall away, to trust that tomorrow will come in its own time and that you will be ready for it when it does. But for now, there is only this breath, this heartbeat, this quiet moment suspended in the vastness of time and space. Consider this. Every person who has ever lived, every human being who has walked this earth has looked up at the same stars you see. The ancient Egyptians building their pyramids, the Greek philosophers pondering the nature of reality, the sailors navigating by the North Star, the lovers meeting under the Milky Way, the children making wishes on the first star of evening, they all saw the same constellations. The same moon, the same infinite sky. You are connected to them across time, across cultures, across languages and borders, and all the things that seem to divide us. The stars are a bridge between past and future, between you and everyone who has ever wondered about their place in the cosmos. And when you look up at those stars, or when you simply rest here knowing they're above you, hidden by the daylight or the ceiling of your room, you are participating in something ancient and eternal. You are part of a tradition of stargazing that stretches back to the very beginning of human consciousness. Our ancestors told stories about the stars, stories of gods and heroes, of animals and seasons, of love and loss and hope. They saw patterns in the chaos, meaning in the vastness, connection in the distance. They used the stars to navigate, to mark time, to understand their world. And in doing so, they touched the infinite, just as you are touching it now. The same photons that fell on their faces are falling on yours, separated by centuries but connected by light. The same deep questions they asked are the questions you ask. Who are we? Why are we here? What does it all mean? And while the answers may remain mysterious, the act of asking connects you to something larger than yourself. It connects you to the infinite human story, unfolding slowly across generations, reaching always toward understanding, toward meaning, toward peace. And tonight, you are adding your own quiet chapter to that story. You are resting under the same infinite sky that has watched over humanity since the beginning. You are breathing the same air, made of the same atoms, part of the same continuous thread of existence that has never been broken. Never will be broken, stretching back to the first living things on Earth and forward into an unknowable future. And now, as this story comes to its end, as the words begin to fade, know this. Infinity is not something distant or abstract. It is not just a mathematical concept or a property of the universe. It is also something you can feel here and now, in the stillness of this moment. When you let go of the need to control, to plan, to worry about what comes next, you touch a kind of timelessness. This moment is single, quiet, perfect moment expands. It becomes spacious, open, infinite in its own way. There is nowhere else you need to be, nothing else you need to do. The past is behind you. The future has not yet arrived. And all that exists is this present breath, this present heartbeat, this present awareness of simply being alive. And in that awareness, there is peace, there is rest. There is a deep, abiding sense that everything is exactly as it should be. The universe has been unfolding for billions of years, and it has brought you to this precise moment, to this precise place, to this precise state of rest. Every star that has ever burned, every galaxy that has ever formed, every atom that has ever existed has contributed in some small way to the fact that you are here now, breathing softly in the darkness, held by the infinite. You are not separate from the cosmos. You are not a stranger in a cold, indifferent universe. You are the universe experiencing itself. You are the infinite becoming aware of its own nature. And that awareness does not need to be complicated or difficult. It can be as simple as this: breathing in, breathing out, feeling the weight of your body, noticing the softness of your bed, acknowledging the quiet darkness around you, and allowing yourself to simply be. That is the gift of this moment. That is the gift of the infinite. It asks nothing of you except your presence, and you are already here. You have already arrived. There is nowhere else to go, nothing else to achieve. You can rest now, fully and completely, knowing that you are exactly where you belong, held by the endless universe, cradled in the arms of infinity itself. You are part of the infinite universe. You are made of stardust and time, of atoms forged in ancient stars and scattered across the cosmos. You are both infinitely small and infinitely significant. You are a temporary pattern in the eternal flow, a single note in the endless song. And right now, in this moment, you are exactly where you need to be. The universe is vast, but it is not empty. It is full of light, full of beauty, full of mystery, and you are part of that fullness. You belong here under these infinite stars, cradled by the darkness, held by the endless. Now, let your body rest. Let your mind be still. Let sleep come, gentle and sure, like the tide returning to the shore. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for listening, for breathing, for simply being. If you'd like to journey through the cosmos with me again, I'd be honored to guide you. But for now, rest, dream, let the infinite universe hold you in its arms. Good night, Sleeple. You are safe. You are held. You are home.